Hey guys, it's Kelly. Welcome to today's video where we are going to talk about some new makeup releases. And you know what? At the end of the day, I am here to talk you out of some new makeup releases. Why don't we go ahead and jump into the video? Okay, so real quickly before we get started, my friend Samantha March created the whole Will I Buy It series, and you know what? It's just a place for us to talk about makeup. I love makeup. I love talking. I love talking about makeup. You love makeup. You love maybe talking or listening. So we are here to chat about some makeup releases. First up, we have a new release from Buxom Cosmetics. They have their new Plump Shot Collagen Peptides Plumping Cream Blush. That's a mouthful. So Buxom is known for their like Wanderlust primer infused blushes. I have the shade Seychelles. Hello Kelly, can you talk? And I really do love that one. I've raved about it. It's been a favorite for years. I think it's great. And it makes sense that Buxom is jumping on like the cream blush trend because that is like the thing right now. Like people are into creams, people are using creams. This is supposed to be like a cream to powder type of feel. And I think that the cream to powder is maybe supposed to try and appeal to people like me who are not a fan of cream products. And it's like, oh, well, it'll turn into a powder on your face. But you know what? We don't need it, y'all. We don't need it. By now, there are a million like cream blushes and cream products and cream to powder and all of the things. We don't need it. If there's a market for it, there are people, maybe you're a cream lover, maybe this is your style and you're like very excited about it, then this would be for you. Okay, this one would be for you. It looks like there are, 5 beautiful shades. But yeah, for me, it's a no. I'm staying away from creams. I'm staying away from them. I'm doing a product specific no buy, low buy again. I will link that here if you want to check that out. But creams are on my no buy list. So we're going to go ahead and pass on that. It looks like Maybelline is coming out with a new foundation, their new Superstay Lumi Matte foundation. I feel like that's kind of an oxymoron. Lumi Matte, like you're either luminous or you're matte. But what's a Lumi Matte? Is it supposed to be like a demi matte, like semi matte, like kind of matte, but kind of not? I don't know. This is currently available in Asia, but it says that it will be coming soon to the US. And it's not going to be for me. I have dry skin. Love a luminous foundation, love a natural finish, love a satin finish. But you put the word matte in there and I'm just like, no, I don't need that. I'm kind of a foundation snob where I really like my high-end foundations. My complexion products, I like the high-end. I will spend the money for the high-end with complexion, really just in general, but especially complexion. I actually don't even know that I have a Kokie foundation. I was trying to think of like drugstore, but you know, I do want to try the L'Oreal one. The one that everybody's been talking about from L'Oreal. I want to try that one. But not this one, not the Maybelline. I am currently on a low buy for lip products, but Hourglass Cosmetics is here to tempt me. They are tempting me in a Shape and Sculpt lip liner. So ultra creamy, transfer resistant, defines shapes and sculpts. It looks like one of those that you sharpen, but in like the plastic container, not like the wood, but more of like if you're familiar with Lunar Beauty or the Charlotte Tilbury, where it has the creamy texture and you sharpen it, but it's kind of in more of like a plastic component. That's what this is looking like. Jojoba oil infused, $29. They have all of the shades that I think are beautiful and that I love, but I also recently took my makeup inventory, which I'll link it if you want to check it out. Yeah, I took an inventory of all of my makeup, and let's just say that I am set on lip liner. I'm set on lip liner. I bet this is amazing. I bet it's creamy. I bet it's beautiful. But I also don't need it. So there's that. Guerlain is super bougie, and they are coming out with a 24 karat gold radiance primer. lightweight gel primer infused with pure 24 karat gold flakes to infuse the skin with hydration and radiance while allowing for a longer lasting makeup result. $85. You can get the white gold if you have cool skin tones, the pink gold for warm skin tones, or the yellow gold for neutral skin tones. It says the yellow is not new. I think the yellow is the product that they've had out on the market, but the white and the pink are new. Now, I don't think anybody needs to spend $85 on a primer. If this was marketed as like a skincare serum, that's where I feel like I could be kind of suckered into it, because $85 for skincare, yes. If you're gonna give me the hydration, if you're gonna give me the radiance, but have like skincare properties, then I'd be more apt to spend the $85. But for a primer, and also, okay, I have dry skin, so I am all about hydration, right? Like I want the hydration, I want the radiance, but I also am very aware of the fact that like a lot of the products that give me the hydration, they don't really lock in the makeup. I mean, this says that it's supposed to give you longer lasting makeup, but typically things that are more radiant kind of don't do that for me. So, I mean, it's bougie. It's bougie and it's beautiful, and I bet it feels nice on the skin, but I will not be finding out and reporting back on that one. Fenty Beauty is launching a new concealer called the We're Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer. We're Even Hydrating. Is that the name of it? We Are Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer. I feel like maybe if they just stopped at hydrating concealer, We're Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer. Anyway, easy to apply, moisturizing, reduces bags and darkness, medium coverage, 50 shades. The thing that I love about Fenty Beauty is if you have a hard time finding a shade, like they really have a wide variety of shade ranges, but I had their hydrating foundation years ago, and it did not feel hydrating to me. I could feel it on the skin. It was more of like a fuller coverage. I tend to go for more of like a medium coverage, and it just felt kind of heavy, and it wasn't really my jam. So because of that reason, I'm hesitant for this hydrating longwear concealer. And like, we're even hydrating, so like, are they marketing it toward longwear but like also we're hydrating? I don't know. This is not going to be something that I'm going to purchase, but if you are looking for a variety of shade ranges, Fenty is definitely the way to go. Christian Louboutin is releasing a foundation. It's available in Europe now. I don't speak French, so I don't even know how to say the name of it, but it says this is a subtle enhancer for airy comfort, buildable coverage, no transfer, they all have transfer, long-lasting, radiant finish for 24 hours. Vegan, hydrating, smooth, radiant, plumped skin, reduces the appearance of pores, 30 shades. That's a lot. That's a mouthful. But let's take a look at this picture here. This is a great picture with the shoes, because you talk about Louboutin, I am picturing the red bottom shoes. Would love to own a pair someday. Super expensive. Don't know the price of this foundation. Probably super expensive. You're really paying for the name there, and I feel like there are definitely good quality foundations that you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for. So if you want to pay for the Louboutin name and maybe like wear your heel and your foundation at the same time, like definitely go you. But whatever the price is, I will not be dropping that much for a foundation. Guerlain is dropping their new terracotta concealer, which is supposed to be a natural perfection concealer. So it's liquid with the lightness of a powder, comfortable, soft, long-lasting formula, 24-hour hydration, optimal wear. Okay, so this looks nice. I mean, I really like the packaging. Honestly, when I first saw this, I thought that it was gonna be a foundation because the packaging looks nice and sleek and has almost like that demi-matte feel. Definitely luxury. I mean, this is luxury makeup. You're paying a luxury price. You're getting kind of the luxury look of it. I will not be spending this amount of money on a concealer. I do want to try a concealer this year. I'm leaning toward the Natasha Denona one. Yeah, so this is going to be expensive. It's coming soon. It's going to be expensive. I'm not going to try it. Are you gonna try it? Tarte is really doing a lot with Maracuja right now. They have their new Maracuja Juicy Concealer, full coverage, not for me, full coverage, not for me. Full coverage concealer, natural radiant finish for smoother, brighter, more lifted and youthful looking eyes with a built-in eye cream to hydrate so it will not cake or crease into your fine lines or wrinkles. And there is a brush. You can purchase a $30 brush to go with the concealer. I'm not a fan of like the jar concealers. When I look at the jar concealers, I'm thinking more of like spot concealing a blemish as opposed to under my eyes. I feel like those just tend to be a little bit heavier. So this is definitely not something I'm going to purchase, but Tarte is really coming back with their Maracuja because going into the next Tarte product, they just released a Maracuja Juicy Eye and Cheek Palette, or palettes it says. So this is supposed to be like an all-in-one palette. So it looks like you have your eye shades and then it looks like there's creams in there. So 12 rosy bronze and natural lid, line and crease shades, mix and match, shimmer and sheen, 2 cream blushes and a cream contour. Okay, so here's the deal. It looks like you have powder eyeshadow products with cream face products. And if you look at how Patrick Ta does it when they do their cream and powders together, they have like a clear little flap thing to cover up the cream product, because the issue is you're gonna dip into these powders and accidentally get powder in your cream. Like it's inevitable. You're gonna be putting those cream products on and you're gonna have a sprinkle of powder in there. So I feel like the packaging looks cheap, honestly. It looks very like Makeup Revolution to me. I did not peg it as Tarte right when I saw it, but there we go. It feels like very old school makeup to me. You know what I mean? Like very much back when Lorac was big and coming out with all of those big palettes, it kind of giving me is like that vibe, you know, like 2017, 2018 makeup vibe. A little past its prime. I want to know your thoughts on this one, okay? I want to know your thoughts on the Twilight and Colourpop collection. I was a Twilight stan, okay? I read all of the books. I saw all of the movies. I was obsessed with all things Twilight, but that was back in college. And I graduated from college in 2010. So I will say, when I saw this release, at first it was like the excitement of, oh my gosh, I loved Twilight so much. And if you've watched some of my videos, you know when I talk about highlighters, I talk about like wanting a highlighter that is going to make me look like a vampire from Twilight. Like I want to glow, I want the sparkle, I want to glow. But at the same time, I'm like, why now? Why now are we talking about Twilight when it's so like it was college for me, you know what I mean? Now I did hear somebody say that there was like a TV show coming out, because I was looking at the comments and a lot of people were like, yes, give it to me immediately, I will pay you now. And then a lot of people were like, now you want to do it in 2024? But I thought there was one comment that I saw on the Colourpop site and they were like, why are you doing it now? And someone said, well, they're coming out with a TV show. So I don't really know too much about that, but you know, I know if you are trying to be like me and you're trying to stop impulse buying and you're trying to be a thoughtful consumer, take Twilight out of it, okay? Pretend it is not a Twilight collab. Look at the product itself, take away the Twilight, look at the product itself and say, is this something I would buy if it wasn't for Twilight? And the reason why I say that is because there was a split second where I was like, yes, I'm getting it. I'm getting the palette. I was always saying no to the Super Shock highlighters because they are not my jam. I would have said no to the liners, but I was like, I can get a Luxe oil, I can get the palette, and I'm gonna do it because I love Twilight. But then when I took the Twilight out of it, the name off of it, I was like, you know what? I think the colors are pretty. I think it is a pretty color scheme, but I don't think it's one that I would reach for often. I think I would still be reaching for like my neutral palettes over this one. And so I know that it's sold out, but I opted not to get this one. I decided to pass. There was part of me that wanted to get it for the Twilight fan, and then there was part of me that wanted to get it as like a reviewer on YouTube. But at the same time, I'm kind of in the mindset where I don't want to purchase things solely as like, oh, it can be a video for YouTube, because I'm not really making money off of YouTube at this point in time, and like I need to be smart about that. So let us know down below if you snagged it. I know I woke up this morning, I'm filming on Sunday, and I woke up this morning and people were saying it released at Ulta, but it released at like midnight or something like that. So people woke up and it was already sold out. It has been a frenzy, okay? It's reminding me of like a Hocus Pocus, the original. Yeah, let me know if you got your hands on it. I actually asked you guys in a poll on Instagram if you were interested in the new Kylie Cosmetics Power Plush Longwear Foundation, because I was kind of like, Kylie, you're coming out with something. Not that she hasn't been coming out with stuff, but I feel like the stuff she's been coming out with has kind of been like, oh, okay, like her lip liners. I was like, oh, now I'm listening, and like, oh, a foundation, and I really like the matte packaging. But I asked you guys on Instagram if you were interested in this, and that was a heavy no. A heavy no to that one. Instantly blurs skin to leave you with a flawless airbrush finish that stays put for 12 hours, 40 shades, medium buildable coverage. So I'm not going to be getting it. I'm going to be passing because you guys were not interested. I do also want to talk about Pat McGrath. She has released her Valentine's Day collection, or revealed her Valentine's Day collection. It is the Heart's Desire. So you do have the eyeshadow quad in Daring Desire, which looks like you have one matte and then like 3 shimmer shades. It looks like there is a highlighter and 2 lipsticks. Of course, the Pat McGrath embossing gets me every time. It's beautiful. It's stunning. Listen, it's beautiful. It's stunning. It's gorgeous. The highlighter is in Nude Opal. I am going to be passing on all of it because the lipsticks have gotten me before with like the Bridgerton collab and the Nude Venus collab, and I really don't reach for them. They are super duper pigmented. They have a great wearability, like they last for a long time, but I'm not reaching for them in my collection, so I don't need to purchase another one. And the highlighter is stunning, but it looks like it may be a little bit deep for me, and I have a highlighter with kind of a similar embossing on it or engraving on it that I don't reach for a ton, so the colors of the eyeshadow are not for me. The packaging is beautiful. Pat McGrath can make some beautifully embossed products, but this is one that I am going to pass on. And with that, friends, that is the end of my video, just chatting about some new makeup releases. I hope it was helpful, kind of hearing like my thought process and why you don't need these products. But you know, if you want to treat yourself, also treat yourself. Who am I to tell you what you can and can't do with your own money? But I just thought that it would be fun to talk about some new makeup products. So I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. What are you excited about? What are you passing on? Is there anything I didn't talk about that you're really excited about? I would love to know. Otherwise, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you are subscribed. That way I can see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.